All right, so I just watched the first season of Breaking Bad. I know I'm late, but I was watching a whole bunch of other stuff before I started watching this. But man, every review I've heard and all the critically acclaimed or whatever honors or whatever the show got is like, it's definitely it lives up to the hype that it gets. Honestly, this is one of the best TV shows I've seen I think in my entire life. 19 years I've been on this planet. It's probably one of the better TV shows I've seen all around. Like, they found the perfect balance of drama, action, and thriller. Like every episode has you. I would say every episode of the first season had me like, oh my god, what's gonna happen next? But like, it's so much happening with the different characters and how I like how everybody's involved in the plot in their own various ways without them even knowing it, and it has an effect on them in some way. It's crazy. Like Man, it's interesting. It's very interesting, but it's not overwhelming too. You know how sometimes shows try to throw too much at once. So like, oh, this is happening, but this is also happening. This it never feels like that. It always feels like everything is connected in some sort of way. Everything kind of comes together. Like it's like a really good, well and thought out show. Now sometimes it's a little predictable, yeah, but I think that's because I've been watching so much TV all my life. Like I kind of know. I'm gonna see through the plot a little bit at times. Like even though the one episode I just watched when they were cooking up the meth in Jesse's house, and then well I don't want to spoil it. I don't even spoil it. But yeah, it's sometimes it's predictable. But who hasn't seen this shit? You feel me? Like who hasn't seen it? Anyway, sometimes it's a little predictable, but not like to the point where it's like, oh man, it was too obvious. Like sometimes it hit you a little pump fake. Like oh. This gonna be different than what you thought it was. Oh, nah, that's what you thought it was. And that's kind of entertaining. And man, if I could say one thing, the character development of Walter White is the most. The man is a cancer survivor slash drug dealer slash teacher slash car wash. He went from like a car washer, like not even like a car washer, like handyman, not even handyman, just washing cars, while being a teacher, to a drug dealer. Like, man, it's crazy. And then you have Jesse. While Jesse's development isn't like as crazy as Walter's, it's still pretty good too. Like you can see him maturing slowly. It come a long way from Captain Cook. Like, like Jesse is like slowly becoming a little bit more mature and a little bit more well thought out as a character, well written. Like that one episode, yeah, fuck it, I'm spoiling. I don't care. I'm sorry, man. You gotta. This is the warning now. This is your warning now. If you don't want it to be spoiled, just get off. But the one episode where like he went back home or whatever because he was tripping balls off that meth or whatever the fuck he was taking, and his little brother was the one with the joint actually, and Jesse was kind of clean, and his little brother was the one with the joint. It's like he didn't snitch on his brother. That was kind of awesome. Like that was cool. And then yeah, nah, that was pretty radical. I said fucking radical. I need my ass beat for saying that shit. But yeah. So that was pretty cool. Like what else? What else was really entertaining while watching this? Just the action scenes. Like when Walter went to go confront Tuco. That was like so tense of a scene when he had the bag of mercury in his hand and was gonna drop the whole. Like I'm like, there's no fucking way he's that much of a bad. I'm like, there's just no way. But that was pretty badass. One thing I would say was even crazier, which is like on a lesser side with the character development, like is the I would say the relationship of Walter and Jesse. You can slowly see it developing into something like like a mentor type thing situation. Both on both sides, like they both help each other in various ways through such a negative activity. It's so cool. I haven't seen a lot of TV shows like that. All the duos I see, they're always doing something like throughout the year. Like this is gonna be so stupid, but like Fanboy and Chum Chum, like that was a duo from way back when I was a little kid. Like you feel me? They used to do dumb things together, and it benefited them. Batman and Robin, but they were all. But see, every time they were doing stuff, it wasn't as harsh as like this. Like this is like top tier selling meth. I had like meth labs and RVs and shit. You feel me? So it's pretty cool to see that. Also Jesse Pinkman. The fact that his actor is the dude from BoJack Horseman is pretty awesome as well to me. I always thought that shit was so cool. Like I heard when I first started watching, I'm like, this nigga sounds so familiar. He's the I forgot his name. I haven't seen BoJack in so long. He's the wimpy dude. Not even wimpy. I think his name was Ron or Rod or something like that. Like his character's so hard. I don't like. It's a really good character on the show, but it's. I see the similarities as to why they casted him for Jesse. I could definitely see this, the similarities for sure, because like they both, it's basically the same character at that point. You feel me? Like Todd, that was his name. Todd. It just hit me. Yeah, Todd. But they're both, drug not addicts, but like a little druggy, laid back, weird, not weird, but laid back type of character. So like even Jesse has, I don't know what he's gonna develop into. Obviously, I'm assuming he matures, but they're both like little weird, laid back characters and shit. Then back to Walter, like I just find it so hard. He's going through chemo, but still has the balls to like confront drug lords. Or he killed that one dude, choked him to death with the iron bar. It was like he's come so far in just one season as a character. It's scary. Like he's flipped the entire script. Even the part, like the sexual part where he's like fingering his wife in the middle of the PA meeting with all the parents there. I'm like, and teachers there. I'm like, bro, this is crazy to see him make such a drastic turn in his life. And I'm rooting, and I don't remember a time I've rooted for a drug besides like Frank Lucas from like American Gangster. It's been a minute since I've rooted for like the quote unquote society bad guys. So the people like in regular society you would think are like the bad people that need to be caught. They do a really good job of like making me root for them, even though I know they're like fucking up a whole community of people and selling drugs to people and shit. Well, yeah, Breaking Bad is pretty awesome. I can't wait to watch season 2. This is just season 1. I'm only seeing season 1, but I'm definitely gonna finish it. I know it's long, but like, man, it don't feel long. Like it didn't while I was watching it. It didn't feel like a chore to watch it. It didn't feel like that. It felt like, well, now I want to know what's next. And then on top of that too, this is the last point. Now I'm gonna keep this brief. There's no annoying characters. That's one thing I also admire with the show. The son and Hank's wife, they're kind of irritating at times, or they kind of piss me off a little bit sometimes, just because the shit they be saying to Walter sometimes, or the way they interact with the other characters pisses me off, especially Hank's wife. But it's still not bad, you feel me? Like, they're pretty cool. I mean, they're not like fucking Cassie from Euphoria or some shit, or like, I don't know. There's a few people that used to pick. Oh, Mr. Peanut Butter from fucking BoJack. If people's watched that, like, they're not that annoying character. They haven't pissed me off yet to a consent. I mean, what the fuck was I trying to say? They haven't pissed me off to a point where I'm like, okay, this is ruining the show type shit. You feel me? Or turning me off. Like, also, like, Naruto, and I used to watch anime and shit. Like, fucking Sasuke and Sakura used to piss me off. Like, those two used to irritate the hell out of me. So, but yeah. So far, it's a 10 out of 10. It's like one of the best TV shows I've seen in my entire life. I won't lie. It's really entertaining. It has a perfect balance, in my opinion. And the main characters are, you root for them. You're always rooting for them. I don't never see myself like, oh, well, this nigga Walter deserves that, or Jesse deserves to get his ass beat, or whatever. Like, I never think that. I'm like, damn, what the fuck? That's fucked up. Like, that happens to them. Meanwhile, these niggas are drug lords. And also, okay, last thing for sure. All right, for real, last thing. The fact that Walter is an ordinary nigga, but he's just so smart. He reminds me of like Rick, like that Rick role from Rick and Morty. Like, but he's not as narcissistic as Rick yet, I guess. I don't know. But, like, he's not as narcissistic as Rick, which I love about Rick, but this nigga Walter is so smart with the chemicals. It's basically like a superpower at this point for this nigga. The fact that he's able to see things and he knows what chemicals are made up within things and use those things to create the drugs, or like he used it to like break into that fucking acid shit or whatever and steal the acid for his drugs or whatever. Like, that is like, I think that's like a superpower, bro. Like, that's like some superpower type shit. Like, to see a substance and know the chemicals within the substance or what to mix it with to get whatever outcome you want from it. That's some godly type shit. So yeah, but yeah, no, definitely love Breaking Bad. I'm gonna finish this show. This show is worth finishing. Like, I gotta see how it ends at some point. I feel like it's always gonna have me on the edge of my seat, and it's an old show, so nobody's gonna spoil it for me unless like somebody, like whoever, the few people that do watch this or whatever, they might be like, "Oh, wait till you get to this part." And and if that happens, okay, that's tough. But like, even if that was to happen, I would still like to see what it was built up to leading into that. You feel me? Like how they built towards that moment, regardless. So, yeah, Breaking Bad's pretty. I said Breaking Bad. Breaking Bad's pretty awesome. Love it. 10 out of 10. The director of this show needs a nice. Hope his pillow is cold at the end of every night before bedtime. Get some nice head from 1,000 bitches or something. I don't know. The nigga deserves the best in life for making this show. Kudos to him. So yeah, peace.